Howdy folks, TJ here. I'm in front of my slowly but surely becoming a killer Atari workstation, an Atari TT030 that can not only play games if it wants to, but it's really a business computer. And what business computer wouldn't be businessy without a Works program? Before we get into Works programs, check it out. I'm slowly but surely making this computer mine. This is Leonard. I've made a video about it before, and watch the older videos to know why I named it Leonard. But I've got my little Atari neon sign over here, all lit up. Eventually that sign will go up on the wall over there, but right now I'm kind of decorating. This is a kitchen type of table in my home office, and I've got my TT030 set up prominently on it, and then behind here is my Mega 2, which I will start working on later, but I use t-shirts for dust covers. Dust over there, because we get a lot of dust. Every house gets dust, right? So I've got a lot of t-shirts that have Atari or fun things on it. Trying to go out and buying a dust cover for 25 bucks for each computer adds up. So I use t-shirts. Smart, isn't it? And if you got one that's got an Atari logo, it kind of plays the part. Anyway, let me show you my TT setup right now as I'm slowly working on it. In fact, we'll reboot the computer just to show you, because I've been doing a little bit of work. Some things that I never used back in the day, I'm using program-wise. And then we're going to talk about AtariWorks just a little bit. I'm not going to go in depth coverage, but I thought I would introduce it a little bit and try to remember, because I used to use AtariWorks, and it's been a long time. So my Atari TT workstation, I've got the TT030. This particular model does have 4 megabytes of ST-RAM. In the future, I do have a TT Storm device that I will put in here. Around the time that I purchased it, unfortunately, life kind of got in the way, and parent got sick, and stuff happened. We'll just leave it at that. So I kind of put a lot of things on the back burner and only grabbed the low-lying fruit for videos. Things that just kind of came in, flowed in. I didn't want to get into too hard of taking things apart and trying to use brain power and tinkering. My hands are getting really shaky as I get older, so working on things, I get a little bit more worried. So I just didn't want to deal with it. But this year, I'm going to be putting in a RAM expansion that's going to make this TT030 scream. We'll do that at a later time. But so this one's got a little bit juiced up in terms of ST-RAM, which is cool. I've got, of course, the Atari mouse. I recently been watching my channel. I've got a Zip 100 drive now permanently connected, where I'm doing backups of it, and I'm backing up some other drives. The nice thing about the TT030, is this thing on? Yeah. Is that it has an AXI and SCSI port. So I can connect an old drive and the zip drive together. I can copy data over. I want to back up some of these drives that I received secondhand over the decades, and just in case there's a nugget of software on there that I want to keep. So I'm backing things up and then wiping them out and then dispersing those hard drives and putting them on other computers. Like I finally have a super drive connected to my Mega STE that's behind me. I've got this cool little, I purchased on the eBays, an 8-pack of zip drives, and it came with a nice little holder. So I've got zip drives there on the hand, ready to be putting them in my zip drive as needed. This particular TT, by the way, I think has a 50 megabyte hard drive, plenty for, or is it 100? I forget, I'm gonna have to look. I do have my Atari sign as noted, and I've got a couple of Atari manuals. What's interesting is, if you look at them, one's got a greenish hue and one's got a black view. They're both TT030s, but one looks like it's from, they both say 1990, but one has a 91 date on the bottom, this one. And unfortunately, this was out in the garage for a while, and in the country, in the sticks, you get rodents. And even if you put out bait, snap traps, Uzis, bazookas, you still get them. And unfortunately, they got into the box that I had some manuals, and then what they did, they chewed it, those bastards. Anyway, but I've got a second one that looks really nice. So I've got my TT manual here in case I need it. I want to peruse it. I just love having manuals on the hand. in a sealed package, I have the AtariWorks manual, which is really cool. And we'll unwrap that together today and then spark up AtariWorks. I've installed it on this hard drive. The coolest joystick in all the lands. Back in the day, I would have had this Epix, and I have two now. One's a little noisier than the other one. This one's not too bad, but it's an Epix 500XJ Epix joystick. It's contoured to the hand. It feels really good. This one still works relatively well. I don't know if they can be rebuilt. I'm going to have to explore that. And that's my current workstation setup. I have it connected to a big LCD TV at the moment because my original Atari TT monitor is starting to act up. And rather than it die completely, I'm saving on to it just in case at a future time I get the courage to buy a desparker, I'll call it, but a device that lets loose the flyback transformer before your body touches it so you don't shock the hell out of yourself. I've never repaired anything like that before. The most I've ever done is solder one little part to another part, and that was it. I'm not a technician, but at some point I may explore it and look, okay, that cap's about to blow. Maybe that's why it's acting up, and replace it, maybe, and see if I can fix it. Or find somebody to repair it, which is going to be hard. So anyway, I've got multitoss running on this particular TT now. Of course, if there's something that's not obeying multitoss, I can boot it up without it. But let's just go ahead and reboot this computer because I want to show you what I've been kind of working on. This computer came very basic, and I've installed multitoss on it, and I also installed Xboot. Back in the day, I don't believe I ever got to Xboot. Xboot is, in my opinion, is the de facto standard for setting up multiple things and ways to boot up your computer. And so I've made one already for, you're probably not seeing, let me focus in on the screen a little bit better. You'll see me a little bit blurrier, but that's okay. Focus? Does that look any better? No, maybe I'm going to have to crunch some numbers here. Hold on. Let me widen. And then I'm going to do this. That may work. And then tighten in on the screen. Okay. So, Xboot. I've got an all where I can just boot up everything. Every CPX, every program I put in auto boot. I could do it all. I've made one for MIDI maze. And I've made one for networking because I've been tinkering with networking. I'm only halfway there. I got MIDI networking to work between two computers, but I can't get my RS-422 Apple Talk style port on here to work diddly squat with another computer. That one may elude me forever, but I continue trying. And then yesterday I installed Sting because I was working on trying to get networking to network and made one for Sting. But anyway, let's boot up on all. There may be too many things in here. I may run out of memory because I'm going to run AtariWorks. How dare I? But that leads me into this. Every platform seemed to have had a Works program. There was AppleWorks if you were an Apple person. I used to use AppleWorks all the time. And what was cool about the Works programs is you would launch them and then it would have all in one program, a word processing program, a spreadsheet program, and then other things like a database program or a graphics program. You had it all built into one place that you could kind of click on what you wanted to do and do it. And then there was AtariWorks, which is what we're going to kind of show off briefly today. In the world of Sinclair, they didn't have QLWorks that I'm aware of, but they did come with a Scion package of software that had Quill, which was a word processor, and they had Easel and Abacus, but they didn't have it where it all launched into one program like this. So it wasn't really a Works program. They gave you things that could do business, but it wasn't all under one umbrella, which is a little different. Maybe that's why they didn't call it Works. If it's Works in it, you got to have it all together. So let's just go ahead and boot up. We're going to boot up now to my regular desktop as I have it today. I don't have it too prettified yet. I haven't gotten there. What terrible English that is. But I've got things launching, installing, making things more fun. And it's multitask too. Let me quickly shift up. So the one thing about using a non-Atari branded monitor that knows the Atari well, this TV works pretty well. Oh, shit! So that's one of the things why maybe I don't want to do the all today, because look, and I've got a PID 5 X control privilege violation. I think that happened the other day when I installed Sting. Okay, so we're going to reboot. I may not need to reboot, but I'm going to reboot with not all, because something's going on. I don't know what. That PID thing. I don't understand what it is, but we're gonna reboot with less. What's less? Networking? Yeah. We still want Mint. I still want Speedo GDOS. Hell with Sting. I want the mouse acceleration. I don't need these two right now. Duet, that's just networking stuff. So we're going to do Xboot, Speedo GDOS, Mint, and mouse accelerator. Oh, the hard driver, yeah, we'll want that. Let's try this and see what happens. Maybe it'll boot. So that's the nice thing about Xboot. You can turn on and off things because you're bound to have conflicts. And me coming into the picture decades later after this stuff was commonplace, it's all new and fresh to me. Now let's see if it boots up without an error this time. Yes, okay, cool. So as I was noting before, this is not an Atari monitor, but it does pretty well overall. It looks beautiful, but things get a little shifted around. So I'm missing just a little scotch at the bottom of the screen, so I can inch this up to right there, and now we're all in the picture much better. Okay, so where did I put AtariWorks? I put it on the C drive. Let me focus in once again since I've been rebooting, and I'll also give me an opportunity to rub my nose because I've got bad allergy day. Oh. So I made a folder called AtariWorks, someplace. Works, Works. And let's see if it launches. Works program. So I'm running a business. It's a TT030. AtariWorks 1.2, May 6, 1993. And voila, what comes up is a Works style program that has everything that you want. A word processor, a database program, a spreadsheet program, and what the hell is this one? I don't know. Oh, what's this button do? So that's word processing. This is a database. This is a spreadsheet. And what's this last one? All works type. Okay, I'm going to have to explore what that means. Maybe you can... Let me just launch that open. Let me see what this one does. I don't know what it is. Load. Oh, no, I don't want to load anything. Oh, I just quit the program. Let's launch it again. Watch it fail. I just want to... Oh, Jesus. Process works killed. Memory... This is going to be a toss thing, right? Am I... no, I didn't have multi-toss running right now, did I? No, I did. I had Speedo DOS running. So I'm running into things that I don't understand. But we're going to try again. We're going to do all, and we're going to wipe out this. Oh, shit. This one. We don't need Sting. I want these other things, though. We're going to go for it. Okay, let's try this. So computers do crash, and mine is not tuned in exactly right yet, and I don't know what conflicts with what. Apparently I'm conflicting. I conflicted with that, but I think it's because I tried to open something and then I went back and I don't know what it did. And now we're going to shift the screen, though. After this boots up, let me shift the screen again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Okay, let's try to open Works. So we're businessy today. I'm trying to run a damn business. I'm going to launch Works, and I just want to do a word processing. Please don't fail. Author Pradeep K. Fatapura. Initializing. So let's just go with a new document. And there we go. We've now got a full screen of untitled, and I can start typing. Oh, that's a fat font. What's cool about this is I do have Speedo GDOS installed. Now that basically, from what I gather and from my memory, handles the beautiful fonts that you may see on the screen, and it's speedier. It's a Speedo one. Let's go up to Style, down to Fonts. and it will bring up this font thing, and it shows you, that's pretty nice. It's showing you what fonts it's going to look like. You've got different sizing here. So there's different, I don't have tons of fonts, but there's a Swiss. That's kind of skinny. Park Avenue. Oh, that's a little bit too funky-dory for me. Or Zingbats. Wingbats. That's the one that always shows you non-English. What the hell is that? Italic Dutch. That's slick. Bold. And then Bitstream Cooper Black. That was what the one came up with. That's really too bold. Monospace. That's pretty boring. We're going to go with monospace, though. Let's click OK. No, we're going to select size 24. Click OK. And start typing, hello. So you had a beautiful way to change the fonts. You could download additional fonts, put them on your Atari. That's when desktop publishing ruled the world. Maybe it still does, but print media is kind of dying. But you're still going to do stuff for the screen, so ultimately you still need all the pretty different fonts and stuff. You're just not doing it on paper, which I still prefer paper. But here's your word processing. So you're writing a letter to whom, oh Jesus, to whom it may concern. So you're writing a document. You could say, I haven't saved anything in in Works, Atari Works forever. Let's try a save. Save. I can save it to my Works directory, test, and we'll click OK. Supposedly it's saved. Let's go down to, can we just close? Okay, so we close that one. Now in Works, supposedly, isn't this where I just saved it? Maybe I got to refresh it. Works. I'm pretty sure I saved it to Works. Works. There it is. Test.stw is the extension it puts on the end. Let's double click it. Does it open? No. You got to open it from within. So it's not right now, at least my operating system, the way I got it set up. Can I drag it on top of Works and open it? No, I've got process Works killed. Memory violation. Maybe I've run out of memory. Maybe I have too many things launching at boot up, but I turned a lot of that shit off. But apparently, I've killed it because of memory violation. Is there something from this memory talking to the memory over here and they're not happy? I don't know. But shit, I'm getting the work done today. You son of a bees weasel. So what was I trying to do? Let's just launch. Will this program launch now? No. So apparently once you get this all shit, I want to open that freaking document before I let you go. Let's open this together as it's booting. Oh, look at that. Fresh. Atari fresh from the 1990s. I've opened this and I've thrown it over here. Oh, I don't want this to auto boot though. Because I didn't make a new one to say boot with less stuff. So we're turning these things off. Sting. I think I can leave all these other things. Mint, GDOS. I'm pretty sure I bet you anything the reason I'm having this problem is Mint. Can I run Speedo GDOS without Mint? Let's try that. I'm pretty sure that's where the problems are coming. I don't know for sure, but that's what's happening, I think. Let's see if we can open the Works this time, though. And I'm not even going to squimming the screen. It only loses just a little smidgen of the bottom. Works. I want to get some work done. Come down here. Works. And let's drag this on here and see if it opens. It's loading. So apparently my problem probably was that multitask is having a hiccup with what I'm doing here. Hey, I figured out. So now I can make one called AtariWorks and turn off shit that I may not necessarily need right now because I'm trying to get some work done. To whom it may concern, you've been watching a video by TJ. There's AtariWorks, and let me quickly just close this. Hopefully I can close it and start something new. I'm going to do a database. Untitled. Let's name it Atari. Just we'll name it Atari. Done. And I've started a database of something that I'll make in the near future. Let's close that. Abandon. let's do a spreadsheet, because most people, the odds are you probably don't use a database in terms of you making a database, unless you're logging in laser discs at home. Nowadays, you can go buy an iPhone that you can scan barcodes and make your own database of all your albums or laser discs or whatever collection you've got. In the olden days, we didn't do that. We would make our own database of our tape collection, 8-track tape, cassette tape, CDs. But let's do it a spreadsheet, new spreadsheet, and it's opened up. Oh, those fonts are crusty. They're thicker than thick. They're thicker than Allen thick. Look at those fat numbers. Maybe you could change. Maybe there's a way for me to change the font. Right now, it's using one that's really thick. But anyway, you're all used to the gridded spreadsheet, so you could, do a spreadsheet. I'm not going to do a spreadsheet for you because let me just type in the number 1, 2, 3. So you can add all those together. I don't know how you sum in this thing. Can you drag these? Can you drag these and then somehow go down here and add them together? I'm sure you can. I'm not going to do that because I don't remember how to do it. There's a way to do it, though. That's what spreadsheets do. You could go 1 + 2 + 3, or you could go down here and make a formula to say add columns A1 through A3, and it would put it all together. And then you'd have this beautiful spreadsheet that would keep track of the money that you're losing because it's 1994 and you run an Atari-only business and things don't look pretty good. So that would be a big fat 0. Can you see the 0 there? Oh, poor Atari. Anyway, so Atari Works. Apple Works had a Works program. Microsoft Works. Atari Works. That's what we used. And I used to use this in the day. I pretty much used it for Word documents, for sharing and printing. I did have a nice laser printer back then. I would print out my documents. Atari and printing went pretty damn well. And you could do desktop publishing and print out little cards. Broader button print shop. Everybody had that, right? So anyway, Atari Works. Pretty cool. And we're going to abandon because we don't want to save anything. So right now, I've got my TT030 slowly building. I've got a lot to learn. Obviously, I've had, how many crashes there? 3, 4, something like that. Apparently, I'm thinking multitask and Atari Works. The way they were jiving, something wasn't happy. There was a memory issue. One's over talking the other memory. Or I don't think it would be a memory issue that I'm lacking memory. I've got 4 megabytes of ST-RAM. That should be enough, but maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Atari. Oh, I didn't really show. So here's what the book looked like. I never really thumbed it open. Is there many pictures in here? There's some pictures. It's a lot of text, though. But it'll show that it talks about common tasks. This was a pretty thick book for the time. So if you were in a business, you would go, okay, I need to do spreadsheets. I need to do a database of all my customers. And so I know what I'm sending them. You could probably do labels. That was a nice thing. You could do labels from databases. So you could print out labels on your mailing list because you're sending out a printed newsletter that you made in Print Shop. But if you were an Atari ST, you weren't using Print Shop. You were probably using Calamus or PageStream and doing something a little higher tech than Print Shop was. And so anyway, book looks pretty cool. It's just really, there's a few pictures in here, but it's a lot of text talking about, here's some spreadsheet stuff. I guess I have to read up on that so I can figure out how to add column A, 1, B, 1, and C1, because I don't remember. Anyway, I think that's it. Ataris could do business. They did do business. There may be some oddball business still today that actually runs off an Atari. Believe it or not, I just picked up Leonard last year. Was it last year? No, 2023 from B&C. And I go there and I pick up stuff because he's only an hour and a half away. He was indeed using an Atari, I believe, doing some of, I don't know if it was label printing, what he was using it for, but he still was incorporating an Atari into his business, which is cool. I find it cool. And we've had long chats. Bruce can definitely chat for a long time, and we sat there and chat about things and how it was so much easier in the day to do things, and now you got to do all this other stuff. It's partially true. Of course, modern computers do a heck lot more, But sometimes maybe we don't need that much more. You don't have to have everything at your fingertips sometimes. Anyway, Atari Works, TT030, getting things dialed in. I can now save these documents to that zip. I can take that zip to a professional printer and have them professionally print that to whom it may concern letter that I was starting to create. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.